The real-life inspiration for Mayberry from the Andy Griffith Show is a town not far from here, and there's a lot of family fun to be had in Mount Airy, North Carolina. So Bethany Winston from Kidding Around Greenville, you set off for a 3-day adventure along with your parents and your daughter. Pretty incredible, huh?
Oh, we had a great time. It was so much fun.
And you said you were impressed at how multi-generational it is.
Yeah, so it's such a great place to go and connect because, you know, the grandparents have watched the show maybe as children, and then a lot of us have seen it, and then to connect those younger generations to have those shared memories.
And then even if you haven't seen the show there, just what happens in Mount Airy is really cool. The show was filmed in California.
That's correct.
Andy Griffith's show was. But the inspiration for Mayberry was Andy Griffith's hometown, Mount Airy. And there was a lot to do there, just a 3-hour drive.
Yeah, so it's just a 3-hour drive from here, and there's so much to do. So you don't even have to be an Andy Griffith fan to go, really. I mean, like, you just love that old small town nostalgia. Like, get up and go. You're going to love it.
I'm impressed just by what you brought back. So your first stop you loved is the Snappy Lunch. It's famous for its pork chop sandwich, as seen on the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah, so that's one of the places it's kind of referred to in the actual show. But you go in, and, like, the menu is, like, even the prices are, like, kind of back from a different era. Like, most of those sandwiches were under $5.
Okay, you're going to like that. And then, you know, named for Deputy Sheriff Barney Fife of Mayberry, there's also a Barneys Cafe, another place you really loved here. And this town is just adorable.
Oh, I know. It's so sweet. So the Barney Cafe is another great diner. They have some really cool old school diners. Like, we even went back and got some milkshakes at the counter. And the coconut cake was amazing. My dad says it's just like his mom, so.
And then as you go through the adventure that is the real life Mayberry, there's even an Opie's candy store, and it's got vintage everything. You brought some of the vintage everythings.
Yeah, like they actually have like the candy cigarettes, you know, that we've all heard of, and even vintage gums. And I was talking to the owner, and he was just telling me how candy is like another way of connecting those generations, you know, like their candy store has everything. So, you know, the different generations can share.
That must have been amazing for your daughter and her grandparents to be able to share this.
Oh, they had so much fun. And even the jars are like old school vintage candy jars.
Look at that. So everybody's going to have fun in there because you're going to walk the town. You got a little sweet tooth, and everything you needed was right there in that really sweet Opie's candy store. And then, while Floyd's Barbershop was a real hangout in Mayberry on the Andy Griffith Show, you can actually get a haircut at a place that's Floyd's Barbershop in Mount Airy.
They still give haircuts, so you can go there and get a haircut. They have old barber chairs that are like 100 years old. They had a cash register that was 100 years old. Like, they actually had my daughter like press the buttons, and it like still opens. So it was, and like the owner there is like the son of the barber who cut Andy Griffith's hair.
Is everybody just the friendliest person? They just walk around and smile at one another and wish each other well?
We were kind of surprised because you don't really expect that, but they really were. Like, we got stopped multiple times where people asked us, you know, where we were from, and some lady told me she was going to read my book when I got home.
Well, very good. Well, I'm sure they're interested because you're there documenting it all. One part that you'll be sure to mention is the squad car tour. We can ride in a 1960s squad car, even, you know, actually tour the town in it, just like the sheriff's car.
Okay, so this is like the best. You get in this old 1960s car, and they take you on a tour through the town, including running the siren and yelling at pedestrians.
Nice.
It was so much fun. And you also get to learn some of the history of the area while you're on the tour. So this highly recommend for even the young kids.
Oh, how cute. And on the tour you went through just mostly the downtown area? What do you see?
Yeah, they go through the downtown area, so you see Andy Griffith's hometown, his
actual
place.
house is there.
But you can actually stay there too. And they have a huge granite quarry there, so they took us out there so we could see the huge granite quarry because that's part of the actual history of the town. And some of the architecture is based on that granite too. So it's actually a wide variety of different types of things you get to see and learn about while you go on that tour. And then it's right there by the Mayberry courthouse, so you can actually go in and get a photo inside the jail and, you know, at like the desk. So it's all modeled after the show.
Wow, so they've really created a whole spin-off right there in that town, even though that's not where it was filmed, but that's, you know, all the inspiration is there, and so all the landmarks are there, and you get to visit them all. And then there's also a concert experience that you had at Blackman Amphitheater, kind of a far cry from when Andy would strum his guitar and sing on his front porch. So bigger than that, but great.
Yeah, I wanted to share this because it's one of those things where we went and did it. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but it was so much fun. Like, they had a big concert out there. Everyone was out there line dancing. The kids were running around. So great family type of venue. You know, if you have small kids and you want to go have some fun at night.
Well, and this is neat too. I mean, just what a beautiful location. And have you ever been up there before?
No, I hadn't. I like learned about it and was really fascinated. So I ended up going on this trip, and now I'm like I'm like telling everybody. I'm like, you need to go because it was a lot of fun.
That's cool. And at that amphitheater experience, there's, live music under the stars. There's dancing, really a super family-friendly vibe. Kids 12 and under were free. You had to appreciate that.
Yeah, the kids were free. It was just $20 a head to get in. If you live closer, they actually have a season pass where you can get to like all 50 plus of their concerts with that.
Well, it's funny to me that, doing the work that you've done for as many years as you have right here, 3 hours away, you finally get up there and you go, wow. So that must be the definition of a real hidden gem.
Yes, I mean, I think so. I don't think a lot of people realize like what a great place it is to visit and how much fun you can have there.
And you don't have to memorize every episode of the Andy Griffith Show to really appreciate it.
That is the truth. So my daughters barely watched it, but they're playing it everywhere in town, so learn it while you're there.
All right, so Mount Airy, North Carolina is about 3 hours from Greenville. Anything else that kind of stands out as you reflect on the trip? And the book, I guess you're going to start working on immediately.
I don't know about the book, but just like go there. They have a lot of great museums too, so they have a lot of history outside of even Andy Griffith. So there's plenty to do there, and we'll have a full article on it on our website.
Oh, look forward to that. And I'm sure throughout the summer, people are looking for places to go up there a little bit in the mountains. You're going to feel nice and cool and appreciate a day well spent. Bethany, thank you.
Thank you.
And there are a lot of ways to connect with Kidding Around Greenville, a valuable resource for families.